the legacy of Machine Head has been an interesting one, to be fair. They were like, when I first discovered them, it was mainly just before they released the Blackening, because I think Take My Scars was on Scuzz, and went back and looked at their past discography, and yeah, it was. Oh, my bad. Didn't realize I was still on that. I'm on studio mode, that's why. So, in terms of Machine Head and the band and things like that, they started with that whole sort of groove ideals to them, and then they took a bit of an interesting turn with the Burning Red and Supercharger, which I don't want to pretend don't exist, because to say that stuff like that doesn't exist doesn't show...
I actually like their cover of Message in a Bowl. Not many people do.
I don't mind it, But, there's some real good hit songs like Old Davidian, Take My Scars. I love the front lines off The More Things Change. Then Through the Ashes of Empire kind of kick-started a new sort of sound for the band that was a lot more advanced for what they've been doing, like Imperium, Bite the Bullet, All Falls Down, those kinds of songs. And then their absolute masterpiece, which was The Blackening. I don't know what I can say about this album that hasn't been said already. It is just an absolute joy to listen to from start to finish, and it's like Machine Head have that way of including all the rage that they can muster up into all these songs and everybody's rage, and it just gives you that head-banging class that you want to put into.
Yeah. And then they released Unto the Locust following that, which is, I guess Locust was probably the first Machine Head song I ever heard.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. Maybe it was Halo or something like that. But yeah, decent album again. And then the very much underrated Bloodstone and Diamonds from 2014, which I was harping on about it to Mosh Talks, and we were doing a Machine Head retrospective segment a few weeks ago. But my God, it's a good album. Yeah. And I feel like it really didn't get the attention it should have arguably deserved.
Yeah.
Which was a real shame.
Because, I mean, you count the songs that are on it, like, Now We Die, absolute banger.
Killers and Kings, Damage Inside.
Yeah. Beneath the Silt.
Beneath the Silt, what an absolute banger.
Night of Long Knives, I love. Ghosts Will Haunt My Bones is probably my favourite off the album. Yeah, and I just love the production on the album as well. And then we get to we did have a few
Catharsis.
Well, before that we did have like Is There Anybody Out There? That was before Catharsis, wasn't it?
Well, that was the song that definitely caused the first, I think, of Machine Head's kind of modern day controversy.
Yeah, it was like
divide, and really that from that song kind of set a divide.
It made people weary of what the next album was going to be like, and funnily enough, like Catharsis, it kept what the Blackening and so forth had in sort of the nature of it, but I think there was quite a lot of dynamic to it that was stripped away from it, and I think that it was a very big, for my issue, that it was a very big emphasis on quantity over quality for a lot of it, because there's so many songs that you can skip through it, and there's only like 2 or 3 standout songs for me on the album, which would be Volatile, what's the Heavy Lies the Crown, and not Triple Beam. I don't like that one. I don't know. Maybe those two. But well,
what's that one that rips off Strapping Young Lad? You know that
Beyond
riff?
the Pale, is it?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it felt like they were a bit kind of, they kind of moved back towards that kind of rap metal
kind
element slightly.
But it was also a change from the lyrical standpoint as well, because Machine Head were always known to sing about, sort of like depression and, misery and that kind of thing. But they have had, like, I think Bees did point out in his Machine Head stream that there's been many times in the past where they have spoken about politics in songs. I think it was just more of a relevancy to modern politics that people.
Yeah, exactly. It's it was the zeitgeist of the time.
Yeah.
Because Catharsis came out in 2000. Well, it
16,
came out
yeah.
in 2018, but it's still in the midst of unrest
2018, yeah.
and upheaval.
Yeah, and considering I think at the moment America are quite divided on it, there was definitely quite a bit of backlash on it from that point of view. Personally, for me, that I couldn't really give a shit about, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Hey, I purely look at things in a musical perspective, really.
Yeah.
Unless you're really, I don't know. I don't want to use Five Finger Death Punch as an example, but if you're just really like wankery in your beliefs and you put stuff like, you call all mask wearers communists and stuff in your latest video, then I'm just like, no,
Yeah.
I'm done.
I think so. The other thing now, current Machine Head has gone through quite a few lineup changes. Like Arulasta left in 2002. Phil Demmel left in 2018, and he was a very critical side to Machine Head, as well as Adam Duce, who left in 2013. And then Tony Costanza, he sadly died this year. And then Dave McClain. What a phenomenal drummer. And he's not there anymore.
Dave McClain, Adam Duce, Phil Demmel. To me, that is like the era of Machine Head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is, like, for me, that's...
And there's only Rob Flynn is left.
Yeah, essentially. So now it's Rob himself, Władysław Kieltyka. I think it might be pronounced Wacław or something. Wacław, okay.
Because he's Polish. Okay. I'll have to talk to Kuba about this.
Jared,
get the skinny and how it's pronounced.
Yeah, Jared McEachin, or I can't. It sounds odd.
Watch now, the Keyard podcast. Watch KB try to pronounce names.
Keyard, too hot for TV. I remember Jared being in a band called Sanctity, who I saw supporting Trivium in 2007. So that goes back a while. They only had like one album, but then he was the front man for that.
Well, Wacław Kieltyka. I'm so sorry.
It's not just me, is it?
No, it's not just me. He was in Decapitated, I believe.
Yeah.
Before joining Machine Head.
Fair enough.
And Matt Elson. What I was kind of expecting them to do, because they went on a run, obviously playing Burn My Eyes in full for the anniversary.
Yeah.
And they drafted back in Logan Mader and Chris Kontos.
Yeah.
I would have expected Rob to go with that lineup as the Machine Head lineup.
Yeah.
For future reference.
Yeah.
But
they probably had other things to do, and they probably just.
Finally getting on to what Machine Head are doing in the year 2020, I have already listened to the couple of songs that they released before this one called My Hands Are Empty. Mm-hmm. And we have, not stalling, I'm just scrolling down to find them. Yeah, okay, so we have Circle the Drain, we had Stop the Bleeding, and Bulletproof. I actually haven't listened to Bulletproof yet, but... Circle the Drain and Stop the Bleeding, very decent tunes. And obviously Stop the Bleeding has my boy, Jesse Leach, on guest vocals.
Bulletproof is probably my favourite out of those.
Oh, really? It's the one it's the one tune I haven't listened to. But I guess from this, you can kind of take... The signature Machine Head sound is still there. Yeah. And Rob is very much wearing his heart on his sleeve as much as ever when it comes to things he wants to address in the current world. Mm-hmm. In terms of My Hands Are Empty, what do we know about this? Is this going to be the album name, or is this just another...
I've had a check, but there doesn't seem to be any hints about any upcoming album. It looks like, in terms of the art cover and stuff, it could be part of an album, but...
Oh, no, to be fair, Through the Ashes of Empires, there's a fair few. Imperium, Elegy, In the Presence of My Enemies, Seasons Wither, All Falls Down. They're all great tunes. I'm glad you're back, KB, because I was running out of stuff to stall. I was just talking about my experience with Machine Head.
My mum picked the dog up, that's all. So.
Oh, right. Okay, got you. Michael says Through the Ashes is very good. One of my favourite. Get the US versions with Seasons Wither on it. One of their very best songs.
Well, I think that's on Spotify as well, Seasoned with the.
Yeah. And Murray Man says, seen Machine Head on that Burn My Eyes show, 3 hours long. 3 hours long.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, no, because they played Burn My Eyes in full and they did their own Machine Head set, didn't they? On that tour. So fair dues. All right, well, we're not going to waste any more time. Let's just get into it. So this is the newest single by Machine Head called My Hands Are Empty. And have you got it queued up yet, KB?
Yep. Queued up.
Okay, right. So on 3 then. 3, 2, 1, go.
Is this the Welsh national anthem?
I really like this though. This is like
Suspenseful.
This could be in Lord of the Rings or something, couldn't it?
Da 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 da.
It's like something the dwarves was singing in Moria.
He does look like a dwarf, actually, Rob Fillin.
And my axe.
And my BC Rich Warlock. And my shirt saying fucked on it.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, I've got to say, I really like this build-up.
I mean, it is 5 minutes.
It makes it feel epic, you know? Nice. Oh, yes.
This is the Machine Head I like.
Yeah.
Is this Jared singing?
Yeah, who's this?
I think it's Jared.
Is it? Wow. It could be Rob. I don't know.
It is Jared, okay.
No,
I'm glad he's doing more.
I mean, what can you say about it so far? It sounds like Machine Head. Oh, I love that.
That's proper the more things change sort of thing. It does kind of have that vibe, doesn't it? The sort of more things change.
I feel like I compared it to Now We Die earlier.
Yeah.
Or what is that what it's called? Now We Die? Yeah, with the string arrangements and everything, and the epic feel of it.
It does have some elements of catharsis, but like in a good way.
I really like Jared's vocals actually in this. In contrast to Rob's sort of raw, you know? It's great.
Or what's it called? Now I Lay Thee Down, that song.
You know what this reminds me of something of We Are Not Your Kind a bit. Is that fair to say? In the guitar tone.
My hands are empty. My hands are empty.
Yeah. Now I'm wondering if this is Logan Mader's part, because whilst you were gone, I discovered subsequently about this track that Logan Mader actually does feature on this.
Really?
Yeah. And it's their first collab in 24 years.
Wow.
So there you go. There we go with the Machine Head natural harmonics in the riffage. My favourite part of that Machine Head's riffage. Very much Halo sounding this riff. Like, I don't know why, it's such... He uses the same trick over and over again with natural harmonics and riffage, and I never get tired of it, ever. It just adds... It's his signature sound, and it never fails to get me worked up.
No doubt. I think as well, like, you can hear how more thorough his harsh vocals are. Sorry, it's getting me on that.
It's very yeah. I really like this. Slight auto tune on Jared's vocals.
Maybe.
Is it just very well produced, like an EQ?
I don't know. Melodyne.
It's got a kind of.
Oh, I can hear what you mean.
Oh
yeah.
no! It's definitely auto tuned, but it's not overly done. You know what I mean? It kind of just adds something to it. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, because you can still hear imperfections in it. Just
yeah, but I like the imperfection. Well, there you go. So that was "My Hands Are Empty" by Machine Head. I mean, what are your initial reactions to that?
I think it's not like an outstanding Machine Head song like "Clenching the Fist of Dissent" or anything like that, but it's very solid. But it does bring some new things to the table, and that bridge section there with that was really good, and bring the harmonics back. It's everything you gotta love from Machine Head, really.
I just feel like I'm gonna have that thing in my head all day now.
Yeah,
right up until New Music Saturday.
Absolutely.
That's a solid thumbs up from me personally. I if this is a part of an album, I very much welcome it. Hope it's going to be as good as Bloodstone.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Jared's kind of softer vocals contrasting with that sort of growl that Rob has, and that vitriolic delivery.
Yeah.
I like the opening kind of choir Minds of Moria type deal. I like the solo. It just makes you wonder which bits Logan made are actually collaborate. What did he add to that song?
Yeah.
To make it because he said the song was more or less finished. I told him this while you were away from desk. He said the song was more or less finished, but then Rob gave him the track and he added 2 things to it, like 2 bits sections. And then Rob was like, "Yes, now we have it."
Okay.
So it'd be interesting to see which 2 sections those actually were. But so it's, what can you say? Machine fucking Head.
All the way. So that was Machine Head with "My Hands Are Empty."